Alright guys, welcome back. More information on My Hero Academia, chapter 372 is now here. New spoilers because we already know that, Shoji's face is revealed. Everyone else is going crazy and they're trying to fill Kurogiri, which they're doing right here, right now. And it's actually happening because I think they just freed him. So, yeah. So we're gonna see how they freed him, or why they need it for him, because things just have to change for the Hero Society, which the heroes have to do something. I mean, they're working really hard as they can to stop these villains, and of course the mutants, and of course the citizens need protection and all that. So they're working the best way they can. So let's go ahead and check this out. My Hero Academia chapter 372, guys. Let's see what's going on.
Alright, so we got the 372 spoilers, and it seems like it's actually happening. Like, Spinner has actually made it to Kurogiri, like something we've been talking about for the last couple weeks, because that's like his big goal here. Let's get into it because it's pretty exciting. The chapter begins with Shoji and Kota asking All Might and Aizawa to assign them to the Central Hospital team. They're confused because the students are not supposed to know that, but Shoji says that the giant lady told them that a mutant group is preparing a raid. Shoji says that if he ignores that, he won't be able to call himself a hero. We then see a conversation between Aizawa and Mike, and Aizawa saying that leaking false information was not enough to fool the villains, and asking Mike to also go to Central Hospital. So yeah, that was like a flashback to before this, final war started. But it's also just establishing that like Shoji and Kota being heteromorphs and being here for this battle is just not a coincidence. Like, they chose it specifically because they are heteromorphs. Cut back to the present and we see Mike watching Shoji and Kota fight, thinking to himself that they are already much stronger than the three idiots when they were students. We then see a short flashback of Kota with his mom saying that his horns will grow someday. So yeah, he's very much correct about this. The current students in Class 1A are way stronger than the students of the past. Like, Aizawa's referring to him, Mike, and Shirakumo. And we could say, oh, it's because of the quirk singularity, which technically it is, quirks and people getting stronger as time goes on. Yeah. But it's also just because, Horikoshi has just made the students way too powerful. Like, a lot of them are just as strong, if not stronger, than, like, the top 10 Billboard heroes at this point, and they haven't even graduated. They're not even year 3 yet. But going back to the flashback of Kota with his mom saying that his horns will grow someday, the horns can make his feelings reach animals that are far away. She says that people were mean to her because of her appearance, but Kota's father always defended her and praised her horns. She hopes that Kota will become an adult who gets angry for the right reasons. So I guess this is going into Kota's quirk awakening, maybe, or quirk evolution. Nice. Because we saw in the previous chapter that he did sprout like horns from his head, and apparently it is hereditary, since his mom did always have horns, or at least in the one glimpse that we got to see of her. Shoji and Kota attack at the same time, with Octo Expansion and Hitchcock Buzz, the first being a very strong punch on Spinner, and the other a flurry of birds attacking the general. Mike also helps with his voice. Yeah, so this goes back to the ending of the previous chapter when we saw Shoji, like, winding up that punch where it, like, twisted his flesh around it, and it had, like, eyeballs and stuff as well. I guess it's called Octo Expansion. And yeah, as we speculated, it's a pretty strong punch that's landing on Spinner, but it's not taking him out. The fight is very much still continuing afterwards. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Boomslang. Boomslang is an independent business that was created by brothers that love anime just like us. They noticed that a lot of the anime tees out there heavily relied on already licensed artwork, and that there was nothing original with the aesthetics that they love. So they set out to create an anime brand that was strictly based on original artwork and style that appealed to them. Boomslang has tons of original and aesthetic t-shirts, hoodies, phone cases, prints, sketchbooks, stickers, and banners that you're absolutely going to love. And just don't take my word for it, check out all of these awesome reviews that they have. So guys, if you're interested in getting some awesome, original, and truly aesthetic apparel, check out the link in the description. Thanks, guys. Shoji asks Spinner what he wants to protect with his giant body. and his scales. He then turns to the mutants on the ground and asks the same thing. What do they want to protect with these amazing powers they have? As he says this, he remembers Aoyama crying. He asks them to stop because this attack will cause all future mutants to be persecuted. He then remembers the little girl he saved as she's crying and saying that if she hadn't drowned, she wouldn't have been attacked by the villagers and his face wouldn't become so scary. That's when Spinner starts yelling, saying that hatred will never disappear. If the heroes win this fight, nothing will change. He remembers the days when he lived locked up in his house and asks his companions to make their voices heard and follow him. So yeah, Spinner's not wrong here. I think I also talked about this in the previous review as well, that like, even if the heroes do win, it's not like the prejudice against the heteromorphs is suddenly going to disappear. And Shoji himself knows that too, because he said, you know, he wanted to become like a great, famous, cool hero so that he could spread, you know, positivity to the future generations. Be like, hey, you know, just let's end prejudice against the heteromorph. Like, it's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a couple years. It's going to take many years for this to happen. Spinner then propels himself from a building towards the central hospital. Shoji is held up by Koda's birds and realizes that Spinner has become even stronger, to the point of where he can break through concrete. The mutants hesitate for a moment, but then shout in agreement. Policemen notice that the mutants are more motivated and seem to deem it necessary to use firearms. We hear shots being fired, but soon the focus shifts to inside the hospital, with Spinner smashing through the walls of the entrance. Now we're getting to the big moment. Spinner is finally entering the hospital here. This is like his big mission, going after
this is one crazy chapter.
Orders of All for One. Because, you know, in theory, he would be able to activate Kurogiri's Warp-Gate quirk, and then that would break All for One / Shigaraki out of UA, where he's currently trapped and being beaten down by Izuku and having his quirks nullified by Aizawa and Monoma. He remembers All for One saying that Kurogiri must be in the research tower, and says that when he finds him, he has to play a voice recording of Shigaraki or All for One himself. He explains that Kurogiri is essential for them to win, and that Spinner will become Tomura's hero. We then see that all the doctors and nurses in the hospital joined hands to block a hall. One of the mutants is shocked by the scene, and remembering Shoji's words and thinking of the doctors treating the wounded, he drops his weapon to the floor. But Spinner keeps moving forward. He thinks to himself that he accepted he would always be a nobody, but if he fulfills this goal, he will become something. He says that the proof is that so many people are following him, but when he turns around, he sees no one. So yeah, that's sad, just going more into the tragic turn that Spinner has taken here. And also showing that Shoji's words have gotten through to some of these heteromorphs. Like, he was telling them, like, hey, you know, you're gonna siege this hospital, but there's like all of these innocent people here, especially all of the innocent people that are being treated, and it's like, you're no better than the people who have used violence and prejudice against you. The whole sequence is illustrated with young Spinner running to show that he's lost in his thoughts as he reminisces about his past and his whole life. That's when Mike arrives in that hallway, saying that Shoji's voice has reached the other mutants and that he won't accomplish his goal. The chapter ends with the two arriving at the research tower, with Spinner shouting Kurogiri and Mike shouting Shirakumo. So that's where the chapter ends, and I guess this is going to be the thing going forward into the next chapter. Like, who can awaken Kurogiri first? Is Mike gonna somehow bring Shirakumo through Kurogiri's consciousness? Because we saw that that was kind of a thing, and I think it might happen
in season 5.
It seems like Eri would have to do it, but maybe he could just, I don't know, brute force through it with enough of his friend's help, you know, friendship power. But also, I think that Spinner has to break Kurogiri out of here, because All for One / Shigaraki needs to get out of UA. Like, that needs to happen. So I think that most likely will happen, but eventually, you know, towards the end of the series, like the very end, I wouldn't be surprised if Shirakumo, like, breaks through Kurogiri and he becomes the dominant personality once again. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Let me know if you think about these spoilers in the comments.
Okay. Alright. I think I got all the information piled up, and let me see if I could get this right. Shoji and Koda are fighting. Spinner gets stronger. He charged straight through the hospital. He breaks through concrete, like he said. And he finds Kurogiri, and he's shouting out to Kurogiri's name. And of course, everyone else from the mutants are pretty much, thrilled to see that Spinner's doing his job. And when Mike comes out, he shouts out, his name, of course, but his friend's name. He feels like his best friend's inside that little purple smoke, because they tried to get him out, trying to get him, understand who he really was in season 5. So apparently, I think Mike might be able to free his friend out of that purple smoke, or Spinner because, you know, like he said, I mean, Shigaraki has to come out UA eventually. But I just hope Mike does something about it, because I really do not want the villains to win, and I really do not want them to fail, so they have to win. I mean, even Spinner says, they're not, nothing's going to change, but something will change eventually. That something has to change for the heroes. So, yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Stay tuned for more, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you want to see more, videos, subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, of course, leave a like below. Alright? Thanks for watching.